Hi everybody, I am Monique Beck, president of M Sports 6 Apparel, and this is episode 2 on Today's the Day. This is a video series dedicated to getting you mentally ready to make your competition runs. It's all about upping your mental game. So last week was our first episode, and we talked about the 3 main reasons why people get nervous. So 1, you're not ready, 2, your horse is not ready, and 3, you worry about what other people think, say, or do. Today we're going to talk all about number 1, you are not ready. Before I start that though, I wanted to answer a quick question that somebody asked me about how you tell the difference between excited nerves and I'm not ready nerves. Easy way to tell. When you have excited nerves, that's kind of the anticipation before you run. You want to get in there, you want to do your job, you're super excited about doing it. Excited nerves actually stop the instant your name is called and you make that turn and it's go time to go in and make your run. Excited nerves stop them because now it's business and we're going to get in there and get the run done. If you're not ready nerves, you're still going to blank out in the arena and you're going to come out and you're not going to have a clue of what has happened. Things like that. You're going to be kind of scattered and all over the place. When you're having excited nerves, that's kind of the anticipation, the build up, the fun of barrel racing and or whatever competition you're doing. But then as soon as it's go time and it's your turn, excited nerves stop and you get in there and you do your job. So that's the big difference between the two. It's an easy way to tell. So what are you? Do you have excited nerves or do you have just, I'm not ready nerves? I'm not ready nerves. You are not ready to be in the arena. So what does that all entail? So I have wrote down a bunch of them for you. So when you have nerves at a race, you're not ready. It's simply because you haven't done the work to get there. So you have not been spending time with your horse. You don't really know your horse. You haven't been riding. You haven't been brushing. You haven't been really spending the time with your horse, learning all about what your horse is all about, what works for them and what doesn't work for them. So you end up not riding all week and then you show up at the race and you're nervous because you haven't done anything. You may win, you might, but did you really deserve that win? It is all about being prepared to be there. And in order to be prepared to be there, you need to spend that time with your horse and really get your horse ready to be there. And in that, you're getting more and more in sync with your horse. So all of those homework makes a huge difference for feeling ready when you get to the race. So the other thing is that you're simply not prepared. So a race is coming up on the weekend. Maybe the draw has been posted. Do you know what number you are in the draw? Do you know what time you need to be there in order to give yourself enough time to warm up and to go in and make that run? Do you have everything in your trailer that you need? One time I went to a barrel race and it was like a big 3-day weekend and I had cleaned out my horse trailer like probably the week before, getting it all ready and clean, and I forgot to put all my brushes back in. So I had no brushes for the entire weekend. I had to go and buy brushes when I got there. So that's what I mean. Are you ready? Because I was a little panicked and didn't feel quite ready when I was like, all of a sudden I knew I had so much time before my run and I had no brushes to get my horse ready. So I was like scrambling, like flicking with my hands, trying to get the dirt off and everything. So things like that are absolutely things you can do ahead of time to make sure that you are ready for that race. Check your tack, make sure that there's nothing broken, check your cinch, do all of those things to ensure that you can get there and just put that stuff on your horse and go. You need to time your warm-up. So if you know your horse needs 30 minutes warm-up, and you need to watch and see how many barrel racers are going through in, let's say, half an hour or an hour's time, and then time it. You don't want to be too early or too late to go and make your run. So it's up to you to keep an eye on how long things are going. It's also up to you not to get on your horse too early because you don't want to wear them out. So you know your horse best. Do what's going to work for your horse and give yourself the right amount of time for a warm-up so that you're not sitting around for like 45 minutes to an hour afterwards, unless you have a horse that needs that, before you run. Other things that you can do to prep so that you show up prepared is know the directions. If you've never been to this race before, know the directions and any possible obstacles or detours that you don't know about. Make sure you find out about them ahead of time. Find out who's in the draw before you. So if you know that so-and-so is about 20 riders ahead of you, in the draw, and all of a sudden you see they've just come out of the arena, well, you're probably gonna want to think, hey, you know what, I might be up soon. So try to keep a mental note of who's ahead of you in the draw. Write it down and keep it on your trailer door. You know, this person's 10 ahead of me, this one's 20 ahead of me. These are the people that are in the draw with me, so that you know who's in the draw with you. And if all of a sudden you're like, hey, where did they go? And they're all in the holding pen and you're not, you're going to panic trying to get there, which is going to set you off your game because you are not ready. So I think that when you take all of those I'm not ready moments and you add them all together, those are all things that you can do ahead of time to eliminate that part of it for you not feeling ready. So those are kind of the physical things that you can do to prep and get ready. So start with that. Make a list of everything that you need to be able to compete properly and with comfort and ease. Get rid of those, negative thoughts, because those are the ones that are really going to mess you up if you're coming in scrambled. So that's my first suggestion, is write down all of those things that you need to have your horse and yourself prepared physically. Tack, maybe you need to eat before you run. Maybe you need a shot of whiskey. No, just kidding. So whatever it is that you need, that's what you need to write down and make sure that you have that all set and ready to go. So that's it for this week. Next week, we're going to talk about your horse and how to get your horse ready, because a lot of people have issues with their horse refusing to go in at the gate and stuff like that. And I have got an absolute telltale way to make that stop. It's happened over and over and over again when I've given this advice to people, that it just stops. And then the following week after that, we're going to talk about a little bit more about your personal mental type of game, what affects you and impacts you, some of it's self-confidence, things like that. And we're going to touch on that the following week. This was only supposed to be 2 minutes long. Blah, 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 ramble. Anyways, I thought it was really important to get all of those points across. So there you go, everybody. Today's the day, and next week is another one. All right, take care. Bye, everybody.